The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan introduced Americans to drones, unmanned aircraft capable of monitoring people and places from high in the sky. Today, some 50 government agencies use drones in the U.S., and in 2015, commercial use will be authorized. Some experts predict 30,000 will fly in American airspace by the end of the decade.
I mean, this does feel like something out of a science fiction novel.
It is.
It is.
Michael Toscano is president of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International, which represents more than 7,500 drone enthusiasts in the U.S. and more than 50 countries. Drones can be as small as a hummingbird and larger than a jetliner, outfitted with everything from cameras to infrared technology to weapons.
This technology is literally an extension of the eyes, the ears, and the hands of a human being. If you can think of any, like I say, dirty, dangerous, or difficult mission that exists, or even dull ones, these systems do it very, very well.
Jobs for drones seem endless, from capturing 360-degree images of real estate to monitoring and spraying crops. Some police departments already use them, and advocates point to the Boston Marathon bombings and subsequent manhunt as an example of how drones can improve public safety.
When you're trying to cover a sports venue that's more than 26 miles long, you don't have that many policemen, even in a big city like Boston. Having drones rather than big giant manned aircraft to try and cover that area to watch to make sure that no one is doing anything illegal or dangerous would have been very helpful.
But use by law enforcement is controversial. The ACLU and other privacy advocates warn that drones will allow for pervasive surveillance in a way that could eventually eliminate the privacy Americans enjoy in their movements and activities. They also warn of discriminatory targeting against Americans who challenge the status quo, pointing to historic institutional abuses during the civil rights movement and other times of political conflict and social turmoil.
And it's not just law enforcement drones that has some people feeling concerned. For less than $300, anyone can buy one outfitted with a camera controllable by a smartphone. It's also pretty easy to make your own using a hobby kit. This could hover outside your window, operating as a virtual peeping Tom without you ever realizing you're being watched.
The what-ifs of the technology are prompting state governments to take action. 39 states have introduced legislation dealing with drones. 6 legislatures have passed them, ranging from moratoriums on their use to a resolution commending the industry.
Now, you don't use the word drone.
I do not.
Why is that?
Most people, when they hear the word drone, they think one, military, they think one, hostile, and they also think weaponized. Well, the FAA, and that is a misconception.
The FAA forbids deploying a weapon from any aircraft, manned or unmanned. But what if someone tries to take one over?
One of the major issues that has to be tested to make sure that someone can't either hack into it or to be able to unintended consequence of having multiple signals being passed that it causes a disruption.
Then there are disagreements over whether the Fourth Amendment protects Americans from unreasonable searches that could come from an unsuspecting eye in the sky.
I have a confidence that our judicial review process would work and will settle that gray area that's left in the middle, and we'll settle it with a correct balance of security and civil liberties.
Time will judge the benefits and risks, but the technology isn't going back into its box. By 2017, the drone industry is expected to employ at least 70,000 people, with an economic impact of nearly $14 billion.
The sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit of what you'll be able to see.
Jennifer Wishon, CBN News.